Good morning, everybody. The discussion about market outlook today also going to include some important things based on the behavioral research and also the technically the levels and the patterns once formed in kind of yesterday's session, what we can expect from the upcoming sessions also going to be discussed now. For that, we need to share the Nifty chart to make better understanding. We'll be sharing now. Kindly be on. See these things and all. The recent, that means by the way of Brian, you can easily know the recent swings which are not happening between the zone and all have been healthily forming the pattern. Based on the previous explanation about this rectangular box we have drawn and below to that point what it has actually witnessed on the chart and how it has halted the downward trend, how it has taken an attempt to hold the downward movement or intention to bounce back and all how happened, all these things have been discussed already. But for the time being now, the Nifty is clearly making an attempt to hold an important support zones like 24,300 and 24,100. Based on the first signal it has provided on 25th of August by the way of closing above 24,300, that was the important dates level like 8th July's high 24,300 and 18th August's high, that was also respected in the way to close above the high, that was 24,269. So in both way or in both accents, we can get a confirmation of a single day's close above to that points of 24,300 and made it on decisive manner during the 25th August trading range. So after that, yesterday's one was a clear opportunistic based retracement. That means, see this overall attempts taken to, especially it has fallen back to this sub level of 24,300 during the second half of the yesterday's trend. So the attempts was to attract some more buying through the way of the recent behaviors it has actually witnessed on the price actions. Whenever it is, because what is the behavior means, the support zones whenever it is actually swing based support or dates based support, importantly the dates based one, when and all is actually trading near to that zone or trying to approach and finding buying actions from that zone means that and all actually giving a bigger chances for moving higher. So in that manner, the important date support and the swings based supports and all happened around 24,000. From there, it has actually somewhat tried to move beyond 24,300, about to 300 to 350 point happened through this particular action or behavior. So in that manner, yesterday's one was actually an attempt of trying or finding supports around the support zones of 24,100, 24,000, wherever it is. In case if this zone is actually kept maintained by the Nifty's behavior means you can see the sharp bounces towards yesterday's high also happening. Which means what? As we have been already instructed and given indications about the buying, particularly from the positional perspective or actually cooking there, one can utilize those things and all like. For those who are actually utilized, might have utilized, that means enjoyed by the way of experiencing a gain or booking some gains from the 24,000 zone to 24,300 zone, those who are already built the positions on long side. In that manner, we are insisting the same point again around 24,100 to 24,000, where the Nifty is trying to move or find the support zones means you can start building fresh longs from here on, provided it has not breaks 24,100 or 24,000 as a positional based one. If it breaks 24,100 in today's trade, no need to worry and all. You can adapt a accumulation strategy around the 24,000 zone, anywhere between 24,000 and 24,100. So that would be a prudent ideology to implement on your trading setups. In case if it is not actually coming below 24,200, it is actually trying to hold 24,200, means you can get a signal of the market's bouncing activities, maybe getting some more effect to make on the chart quicker manner. So in that manner, if it holds 24,200, you can wait and watch. As long as it is holding this 24,200, the chances for breaking yesterday's high also happening that much quickly. That's the thing one need to get aware about the Nifty's behavior based one before trading setups are being created by you. So that's the thing. And from the positional perspective, as we have already demonstrated the things, as long as this 24,000 is being held by the Nifty spot, one can see the chances of moving towards 24,700 would be being live. So as long as it is actually attempting to move towards 24,700, it is not required to get a confirmation of the further down, that means further upward or new or fresh leg of rally on the upside. For that, it should decisively close consecutively 2 sessions above 24,700 as our core behavior shift zone. So that's the thing. In case if it closes above 24,700, one can see 1,500 to 2,000 points of upside rally that can be seen on the chart. That's it for Nifty. See, based on the phrase also, we have mentioned in today's report that a healthy retracement. Yes, of course, yesterday's one was a healthy retracement. Whenever this kind of things, without breaking any previous candle's low, it is trying to break or at least approach a 50% of the value which had been already constructed by the any instrument, not only for Nifty. And below 50% value, if it is closing, means it may be attempting to continue the downward rally without breaking the previous candle's low. Say for example, for the 25th August low was around 24,000. So if it is being held by the Nifty, even though the further downward trend towards the yesterday's low, that means below the yesterday's low, 24,200 below, if it is trying anywhere between 24,100 or even 24,000 also, if it is having an attempt to continue moving down, one can see the chance for making a sharp upside bounces towards 24,300 to break the resistance to see the further upward momentum. But for those things and all, it may take 1 or 2 sessions. But today, as long as it is in the mood of retracing further, or in case if it holds the 24,200 as we already discussed, the chance for bouncing back will be there, so that we can actually consider this day's momentum mostly based on the range bound volatility. And the volatility index also seeing some more improvement in the structure as well as the behavior, as it has already settles down below 11 or 10 sometimes happened. So the probability may be increasing for bouncing back for the volatility index also. A flat to positive open we can see on the chart, but that is not need to be meant like a positive or negative, whatever the thing. It may be a flat one for the markets. After opening, we can see that the trend probably getting consolidated through the range bound activities between the levels of 24,100 and 24,400. Particularly 24,300, you can take it as a pivotal zone. So that 24,100 to 24,300, you can fix it as a first level of or first range of Nifty's one to consider where it is trying to move and when we can create or how we can hold or continue building long or short life. We are not advising to build an aggressive kind of short positions because the market is not in that manner to support the short sellers. Based on the behavior, it is attracting buying whenever an important dates range in terms of support or in terms of a high level being a support or low level being a support, it is giving a chance of attracting buying. Otherwise, other than the key dates, one can also see the swing based support zones when and are getting approached. There also the chance for getting a turnaround or a reversal or a bounce back for the Nifty could be happen. So by considering these things, one can focus on building long and reduce focusing on short building. In case if you are holding short positions, it is better to utilize earlier downtrend if it is any happening for the Nifty to book your profits or to reduce your positions. So that's it for the day in terms of Nifty's level. In case the 24,100 on the downside gets a break, 24,000 as a whole psychological support along with the interim efficient support zone also will be active. There is less chance for breaking the 24,400 as the core resistance for the day we have mentioned. So that can be kept as a final one. On the sector side, as we have stated yesterday that the metal have performed well in the way of continuing the upward trend. Today we can see some profit booking may be hindering the journey of upside on the metal side. So that may be because of the Vedanta Limited and Tata Steel, even SAIL also we can expect. And the mining oriented Hindustan Copper, Hindustan Zinc also may be participating in the way. But even though the profit booking and all, that should be treated as a retracement based downside in case it happens. Mostly the metal sector will be focused in the way of attracting buying or continuing the bullish trend. Bank, which has accurately met our predictions, particularly on the public sector banks, what we have been discussing for the recent 2 sessions. So the bank index along with the supports of public sector banks may continue moving or attracting buying to give a bounce from the yesterday's retracement. So one can focus continuously on public sector banks along with some private sector like Kotak Mahindra Bank and Bandhan Bank, even IndusInd Bank also can be. So under the finance, the stocks like the gold oriented Muthoot Finance, Manappuram, and other finance companies also may be in focus. As in line with the bank's behavior, the finance sector also expected to move higher. Automobile, which is actually cooking well for the yesterday's trend, as the most of the large cap auto stocks and all attempting to give an upward movement right from Eicher Motor, Hero Motocorp, Bajaj Auto, TVS Motor. So all these 4 stocks can be in high focus even for the positional trade setup, not only for today. For the entire this month, even the next month also, you can see the stocks what we have mentioned under automobile will be acting crucially with an intention to move higher. Then IT, based on the pivotal way it is seeking, like we have mentioned in yesterday's session, it has somewhat got a direction and it is going to continue the direction where it has formed a pattern yesterday. So the most of the IT sector, particularly mid-cap oriented, can be in focus. FMCG, as we have stated, the short covering rally is cooking on the FMCG sector, which is expected to continue further. From the stocks list to be concentrated on today's trading setup for the day traders, the stocks like Kotak Mahindra Bank based on technical, Hindustan Zinc also based on technical behavior. Sale to and Bharat Electronics based on order win news. Vedanta based on the management comment as well as the technical behavior one can focus. And Varun Beverages also based on technical behavior one can focus. So that's all for the day in terms of market outlook. Deploying a strict stop loss strategy on all transactions is very much for a favorable risk reward. So that's it for the day. Have a fruitful day ahead for you. We'll be meeting again in tomorrow's pre-market outlook session. Until then, we wish everyone to have a successful trading session. Thank you.